Heads up, 20 ups. It's Wednesday. Lucy, um, translation to your Spanish, please. I heard Melissa, and that's all I could honestly make out. Yeah. Also, it's okay if you don't have a lot of music on your hard drive. I would suggest, if you really want to know, taking like all the CDs, and making an estimate based on track amount and time, and yeah. Also, that issue nitpicked on, whatever, it is what it is. Um, and also sorry that there is quite a bit dedicated to Lazy Town. Um, yeah, I have a thing for my nostalgia, and yeah. It's a good kid series, though. I recommend everyone watch it. Sad. Also, Avon. Yay, Avon! I used to get stuff from Avon. My mom and my grandmother used to sell Avon. So, yeah. I'd buy from you, but you're not local enough. They don't let me do that. Sorry. Craig. Craig. Oh dear, now I wonder what your friend has and if there's anything I don't have and I want. I also think your views on genres are completely on the ball, and you also said it brilliantly. Um, the basic reason I feel everyone should have a cell phone, since you don't, is it's more, which by the way I call them mobiles, so you're now aware of that. I think everyone should have one, even if you can't make regular calls or text message or anything, for emergencies only, especially like in your car. And always make sure it's charged, because if something happens, you need to be able to call 911, even if you're out in the middle of nowhere. Of course, if there's no signal, then you're screwed. But it doesn't matter in the United States, and the most of Europe, that I know of. Could be more places, but it doesn't matter whether the phone can make regular phone calls or not. Phones can always call 911 or 999 in the case of the UK. Um, and I just think it's important that everyone have that. I understand, you not having one, but I'm just throwing it out there that I think you should eventually get one just for that purpose. Um, but yeah, that's just anyway. Also on the song, I did not watch the music video. I will do that. I wanted to see one with the lyrics in it because I wanted to know what they were saying, just in case. And yeah, also I finally listened to your music. It is awesome. However, on the first and third track, the music was very loud, and I had trouble hearing the vocals you were doing. And so I'm just suggesting, it's an EP, I understand, but just suggesting next time you try and record the vocals separate from the music, if possible. That way you can mix it differently so that the vocals are just as loud and there as the music. That's just saying. Okay. James, I jump cut as many of the ums and ahs and all those things as possible. I think we all do, really. But it's okay, really. Um, Also, that is one durable mobile. Rice is very good for sucking out moisture out of things. I totally agree with that. And I miss my mobile, um, being able to be all awesome. I used to have one where it had a button on the side that would make it flip open. So cool. It was made by Nokia, and then someone stole it. And they don't make it anymore. Um, I also miss my mobile making the soundy thing, um, the soundy thingy thing, because of radio waves. I used to feel like a wizard knowing my mobile was going to ring or a text or something. So, yay! Yeah. Oh. I got my nails done if you can't tell. Yeah, I'm feeling girly. Moving along. TJ, yay, bonfire! Considering you made your video on Beltane, bonfires are a big deal on that day because it's the first of spring, you know, 1st of May, first. I'm not gonna sing that song. Um, all right, happy, sad, good name, very much so. Um, the song I linked to was written as a goodbye letter between two people, and in the scene it was set in Neon Genesis Evangelion. The entire world was ending and all becoming one. And so yeah, that's definitely a song for that. So not exactly a happy thing, but a happy thing in a way. Um Once again, you bring up sharing music, and I'm gonna call them mixtapes even though they're CDs because that just resonates in my head. Um but God, we need to figure out a way to do that so much. I would love to with everybody. Jins, I would love if you wanted to help me translate my fan fiction. There are a few I know that are really, really big, particularly the one that Lucy read and one that I did as a gift for someone for Christmas that I wouldn't ask anyone to try and translate because there's so much, because those are my two longest stories. There are some other ones that are one-shots. Those would probably work if you're willing. I'm just going to warn you, a lot of my fan fiction now is in the realm of Lazy Town. So yeah. You're also right about technology, because years ago they were made to last, and that was a good thing. But in recent years they've made it so they don't last as much, and I hate that. Urgh. Also, when I get into a band or an artist, I get everything they do. I don't just recycle the one things like you do. And I still do listen regularly to the things I like from that artist. But I like listening to that whole album. I'm really, for some reason, my OCD is really weird. I like listening to whole albums at a time. I can't just listen to singular songs. And if I want to listen to a singular song, I have to make a copy of it and put it in an entirely different little folder thing. It's really weird and annoying, but yeah. Also, there was this flash in your video near the end. Was that a light bulb going out? Because I'm not positive, but I think it was. Danielle, 12 hours is a lot. Really. And again, I really just want to raid everyone's collections. If you figure out how to exchange musics, congrats. And if you can't, I'll look on something myself, because I know some ways we might be able to do it. Also, you're talking about video recording, converting, editing. All of that I can't say. Maybe you just need to look for a different program for a PC, because that's really a lot of work that's unnecessary. But when it comes to uploading it, your upload rate is dependent upon your internet connection. And if you've got really great internet and say maybe no one else is on at the time and you've got a really fast rate, it's going to go really fast. The Wi-Fi here where I live isn't exactly the greatest. The first couple of videos I uploaded to the channel took me 4 hours or more to upload. And that's if nobody interrupted my connection. So I go to Starbucks now. I upload in Starbucks because it's faster and takes like 5 minutes. Also, if you're having trouble finding programming, that is cheap or free, you could get around it. I could help if you need to. Yeah, anyway. When it came to technology, I wasn't talking so much about computer programs. I was talking more about actual thingies, like mobiles. Um, yes, they're thingies. I'm so weird. When it comes to updates on a program like Firefox, unless it's like, I understand if you're like a certain version of Firefox and you don't want to update to the new one, but when it comes to updating that version you've got, that's more to make sure that the programming is continuing to function. Yes, it gets annoying, but it's a necessity because there could come a time where if you could override that, your program won't function. And then all you could do is wonder why. And well, it's because you didn't update. That's the flaw in open source programs, which Firefox is. So, also, I hope you feel better soon. Sick sucks sometimes. So I'm watching the videos. I apologized that one time because I watched them for the first time last week on the morning before recording my video. I don't normally do that. I'm like TJ. I watch them once they come out, then I watch them again shortly before doing it. Sometimes, like in this week, I knew I might not have the time, so I made some notes and I just went back over the ones that I didn't have a lot of notes to when I first watched them. But yeah, last week was last minute. Also, on punishments on missed or late videos, I do like Craig's idea, but I also think that we should do a 3 strikes on the lateness in that case. So if you, my idea is if you upload your video after the next person, you get 3 strikes. I'm just so nice, huh? Yeah, wow. But that's my 2 cents. Also, Washington has some high humidity sometimes, especially around the Puget Sound, around our waters, and we can get some really high temps. There was one or 2 days last year where we were in the hundreds and we had like 80% humidity. I was like, oh my God, why? I was living in a house at the time, because this happened before I moved to this place. The house kept the heat in. Ah. So yeah, and that's just one reason why we are called the Evergreen State. Alright, so theme for next week. Everyone seems to want to do a cooking theme. I'm totally with it because this far in advance, I can figure out some way I can cook in my kitchen. Because counter space is pretty much like a hallway kind of kitchen, where you've got the sink and counters on one side, and the oven and the stove and the fridge on the other side, and there's not a lot of counter room on the other side around those things. So, yeah. It's also not a very clean kitchen, to me. Anyway. So I'm just going to say this. This can get cut later. But this was a pretty much almost completely uncut video. I'm very surprised at myself. I didn't awe and whatnot as often as I thought, and I'm going to leave in my little quirks because, well, I just like leaving in my little quirks. And so, yeah, and that's how that goes. So I'm going to see everyone in the coming week. I will see Lucy tomorrow and DFTBA. Well, that looks so cool with the nails.